The parents of Shannon Carter requested a special education process. They lost. They requested a review and lost again. When Shannon's case went to federal court, the tide turned. Eventually, Shannon's case was heard by the U.S. Supreme Court, who ruled 9-0 in favor. Parents in school at IEP meeting.
My husband and I believe our daughter Shannon needs a more intensive program, one in which she would be learning to read on a high school level when she graduates.
We have put Shannon into special education and have prepared the best IEP we could provide her. She progressed from a 5.4 reading level to a 5.8 and a 6.4 math level to a 6.8. These are the best recommendations Florence County School District 4 has to offer.
Well, if that's the best you can offer, then we want a due process hearing to have her placed in two of either public schools or a Trident Academy.
I'm sorry you feel this way, but this is the best our school district can do for your daughter.
Mr. and Mrs. Carter decided enrolling Shannon in a private school would be best for her educational needs. However, Mr. and Mrs. Carter were still fighting for reimbursement of Shannon's private school education. On November 9, 1993, the court case proceeded as follows.
Respondent Shannon Carter was classified as learning disabled in 1985 while a 9th grade student in a school operated by petitioner Florence County School District 4. School officials met with Shannon's parents to formulate an IEP for Shannon as required under IDEA. The IEP provided that Shannon would stay in regular classes except for 3 periods of individualized instruction per week and established specific goals in reading and mathematics of 4 months' progress for the entire school year. Shannon began at Trident in September 1985 and graduated in the spring of 1988. Shannon's parents filed this suit in July 1986, claiming that the school district had breached its duty under IDEA to provide Shannon with a free, appropriate public education, and seeking reimbursement for tuition and other costs incurred at Trident.
Mr. and Mrs. Carter should be reimbursed for the money they spent on tuition at Trident Academy. The law states they are entitled to receive free and appropriate public education. The proposed IEP through Florence County School District 4 was inadequate, leading the Carters to enroll Shannon in Trident Academy. It is their request that Florence County School District 4 provide the tuition for Shannon's education at Trident Academy.
When Florence County School District 4 appeared to the 4th Circuit, they argued that 4 months of progress in reading was not appropriate. They also argued that because Trident Academy was not on the state's non-existent approved list of schools, Shannon's parents could not be reimbursed for her tuition at the private school.
The Court of Appeals for the 4th Circuit affirmed 950 F 2D 156. The court agreed that the IEP proposed by the school district was inappropriate under IDA. It was also rejected that the school district's argument that reimbursement is never proper when the parents chose a private school that is not approved by the state or that does not comply with all terms of IDA. On November 9th, 34 days after an oral argument, the Supreme Court issued a unanimous 9-0 decision for Shannon. The justices held that if a public school defaults and the school receives an appropriate education in a private placement, the parents are entitled to the reimbursement for the education that should have been provided by the school district.
Guest appearances, Shannon and Shannon.
And the narrator! Oh. Beefstick / Brandon as Mr. Carter and Chief Justice Rehnquist.
Yay! Allie as principal and Mr. Wright. Me, Allie as teacher and Mr. Ayer, and Ashley as Mrs. Carter and
Justice O'Connor!
Yay!